Hello everyone, this is Gio from gamesibeat.com, here to bring you a review of Resident Evil 3 Nemesis on Sega Dreamcast. Resident Evil 3 Nemesis is a game I remember clearly from my childhood. I played the PS1 version as a kid at least 3 times. So for this video I decided to try my hand at the Dreamcast version, using my modded Dreamcast. This version is played on a Dreamcast loaded with a DC HDMI. What is a DC HDMI? It's a video upscaler for the Dreamcast. It allows you to play original Dreamcast titles and play them at 1080p. Yup, that's right, 1080p on something as old as a Dreamcast. Resident Evil 3 Nemesis is the third installment in the Resident Evil franchise from Capcom. It is personally one of my favorite franchises in all of video gaming. For those unfamiliar with Resident Evil, let's call them rock gamers, because they obviously live under a rock. Resident Evil 3 is a survival horror game by Capcom. In this particular iteration of Resident Evil, you must escape Nemesis, a horrifying monster infected with the T-virus. He is the biological form of the Terminator. He stalks and foils your plans at every turn. The graphics for this game are horrendous on certain versions. Yes, I'm talking about the PlayStation 1. But what do you expect from a game this old? The version of the game that I played as a kid was the PlayStation 1, so I'm kind of used to the graphics in a way. But at the time, even at the time, the graphics weren't revolutionary. It had the same graphics as Resident Evil 2. However, for this review, I picked the Sega Dreamcast version, and I'm glad I did. The game isn't anything to write home about, graphics-wise, but what do you expect from a 20-year-old console? The DC HDMI did, however, punch up the graphics enough to make a drastic impact. This version with the DC HDMI has much more crisp backgrounds and less jaggies. I didn't find myself bothered by the old graphics at all. The sound is very melancholy and gives the player a sense of hopelessness as Jill Valentine tries to survive a nightmare. The game doesn't really have background music unless you are facing a horde of enemies, a boss fight, or in a safe room. Most of the time you have nothing but your footsteps. In this case, less is more. The real challenge of a game this old is the playability. One thing you will notice about the older Resident Evil games are the tank controls. What exactly are tank controls? Tank controls refer to how old tanks used to move, where they had to make a complete stop before they turned. You'll find this old type of control style in many older 3D games. It took me until the end of the game to fully get used to the tank controls again, but once I did, I didn't have too many problems. For a game that's 20 years old, Resident Evil 3 Nemesis retains its ability to suck the player into a chaotic storyline. From beginning until the end, you are bombarded with zombie hordes, grotesque boss fights, and engaging puzzles. There wasn't one point in the game where I felt safe and content for long. One thing I have to say about Resident Evil 3 and the majority of the franchise is its replay value. I have played and beaten this game at least 3 times, and each time was a rewarding experience. The entire playthrough took me about 11 hours, including many mistakes and deaths. The world speedrunning record is around 45 minutes, so there's a high ceiling for the replayability of this game. In conclusion, I wholeheartedly recommend this game for anyone that wants a challenge. If you choose to play this game on hard, which honestly is the most rewarding way to play, easy mode is a little bit too easy in my opinion, you will find yourself challenged from the beginning until the end. This game requires strategic movement, the ability to solve complex puzzles, and excellent resource management. So get out there, find a copy of the game, and experience the terror that is Resident Evil 3 Nemesis. By the way, Capcom has revealed a remake planned for April 2020. So far things are looking great and I can't wait to play it. Hey everyone, what do you think about Resident Evil 3 Nemesis? Do you like the way it looks and runs on the Dreamcast? Or do you still prefer the PS1 version? Please leave a comment and let me know what you think. Thanks for watching.